Good evening. Welcome to Conversations with Taz. And like I said from last night, this is part two from last night. We touched on our new normal regarding COVID, but we're going to delve deeper into what it means to be a member of the BIPOC community and live with mental illness or mental health care issues and be going through this COVID crisis. And once again, my friend to the end, Miss Jilly Bean, introduce yourself.
Howdy ho, everybody. It is Jillian from Cincinnati, your favorite mother of four, and Gardner, demigod.
Yes. And that's actually how, okay, let's veer off topic for a little bit because that's actually how we bonded because we're both mothers of four. When we first met, when we first met, we were like, okay, how did you do this? How are you dealing with this?
Look, like, how did you do it? Because they're not growing up fast enough.
And I was like, girl, this shit goes slow every year. They won't leave my house. And then I was like,
now I'm in here like, they won't grow down.
Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, my kids all moved out the house. And Julie, you know better than anybody else. They moved out with the promise that I ain't never coming back. I'm grown now. They're always here. They're always here. Anthony's fiance told me today. She's like, your house is like Big Lots, the dollar store, Kroger. That is not my house.
Y'all need to stop that.
And she's like, your house is like the bar, the restaurant. No, it's y'all need friends. I am not your friend. She's like, yes, you are. No, I'm not. And she's like, yeah, because if we told you we need to just hang out, you'd unlock the door. I said, I'm gonna stop unlocking the door. How about that?
How about that? Say it again.
Because I'm like, what? No, y'all said when y'all got grown, y'all was never coming back to my house. I even moved addresses to make sure. I was in a place that you weren't even comfortable, or did you didn't even know.
Maury said that was a lie.
Yeah, because at the beginning of COVID, my goddamn, Anthony, the one he keep telling the rest of his siblings, that firstborn, I'm her favorite. I don't have a favorite. Y'all all annoy me equally. Trust me, I do not have a favorite. And anybody who has multiple children, y'all know what I'm talking about. They annoy you equal. You can look at one in the morning and be like, okay, at least this is the good child. And then 30 seconds later, they do something. You're like, okay, you're going to be the good child. And then, and you're like, we'll sell them all on Etsy.
Yep. Look, that's where my mental health issues came from.
Say that because mine started with my children. Because first of all, can we normalize not lying to people at baby showers? Can we stop acting like everything is rosy and peachy once you have a child? Like you will never be frustrated with your child? No, nothing. Because people make it seem like every day is a great day and you might have one or two bad days. No, you don't have 159 motherfucking bad days.
Look, bad months.
And then you'll have a handful of good days with your child where you're like, you know what? I love you. Because most of the time you look at your child like, what the fuck did this shit come from? Like, I don't care if you like the person that you had the child with or not, because I know there's different dynamics. But you're like, what the what? And you're just like, it is my job to keep you alive. And that's why I am honest, because you know how I know you've been to baby showers like this, where they're like, oh, write a note to the parents for advice. And I'm like, be a united front. Them kids gonna get on your nerves. Y'all need to be able to calm each other down. And you all need to just high five each other and let one person go take a bath, do whatever they need to do, come back, let the other person, if they need to take a hike, meditate, whatever, do that.
Yep. Because my note at baby showers is always, every day of parenting is a brand new day. You're always constantly learning. You're never going to be a perfect parent.
I hate when people go, It goes so fast. No, it doesn't. When you're in the house with these fuckers, and yes, I said fuckers, that shit is in goddamn slow motion. It goes fast for all of y'all that don't live in the house with these motherfucking kids, especially during COVID, because everybody knows I love my children. I love my tiny humans, but god damn it, during COVID, when the tiny humans were here with me 5 days a week and every other week, 6 days a week with me, because I promised that they could spend the night 2 weekends a month. And I'm like, we have fun, but that was before they were here with me every goddamn day of the week. And I'm like, this shit don't go quick. It goes in fucking slow. You're like this. What do you want for breakfast? Yeah, y'all need to stop telling parents, oh, that went like that. Yeah, because you don't see these motherfuckers every day. You see them on holidays and birthdays, if that. You see them online. So of course, it seems like they sprouted up overnight. No, this motherfucker was 2 foot nothing for 27 goddamn months. And they got up to 3'2", and you acting like they're now Shaquille O'Neal. Bitch, shut the fuck up.
Look, and then the other one
to potty train this bitch, but you're gonna go, oh, they're a genius. They got potty trained quick. No, you decided to visit in September, then you came back in November. It was like, oh, that was quick potty training. No, the fuck it wasn't, motherfucker. And when you stuck in the house with these motherfuckers, and y'all can't look. School and work is the break that parents need from their kids. Just like work or hobbies or friends or what partners need from each other. I don't give a damn how much y'all love each other. Everybody needs a bit of a long time. So when people get on me, when I'm in a relationship with somebody and I am respecting the fact that they say, hey, I need this day and this day to myself. They're like, well, you don't think they're cheating? First of all, if you think that somebody that you're with is cheating, let them go. Because I know I need my alone time. And especially during COVID, I needed it. And Frenchie got COVID. And we had to quarantine from each other in the same damn townhouse. Do y'all know how hard that shit was? Do you all know how that was the longest 2 fucking weeks of my life? That shit was like, hello, Jillian. What are you doing today? That shit would take 5 hours. But in regular time, it would be like 2 seconds. No, stop saying that to people.
Facts.
And I think that's what contributed to those of us that have already been diagnosed with issues. It compounded because you have these people, like I've been told, oh, your children are just naturally good. The fuck? Where you get them kids from? How you born into a world where you don't even know what rules are that they exist, but you naturally good? Bitch, miss me with that shit. And like I said last night, we went into lockdown literally right before my birthday. Like I had no time.
That just completely changes all the plans.
And it's like for somebody like me that suffers from ADHD, anxiety, and depression, I've made plans to be around people, and now I can't be around them. And I was in the state that they had to pull in the National Guard to get people to stop storming the fucking Capitol and stop breaking the law when they were found to be COVID positive, and they were still trying to go to the damn store. So for people who were criticizing me going, well, you never leave your house, bitch, remember where the fuck I live. No, I didn't. Because if I would have,
surrounded by idiots, be
having this conversation right now. Because I know my system is compromised in a motherfucker.
Ooh.
But let's touch on we as Black women, especially Black women, the fact that we, first of all, let me say this and let me be clear. In a Black community, if somebody gets upset with you, they self-diagnose you as bipolar and they demonize the bipolar diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
When you go and seek treatment for yourself and find out what's actually wrong with you, and well, I hate to say that, what ails you. I prefer to say what ails you because I don't feel like it's wrong with you. It ails you.
Right.
So, and you're finding out how to deal with it, how to live with it, how to still be productive. It's thrown in your face, or you're told that you're lazy. And especially as a woman, we're conditioned and raised from the time we pop out our mom's poom noon, as my little brother I Speak would say, to be strong and unwavering. How do you deal with that
Every
even
damn
though?
day. Every damn day. We are not allowed to have a bad day. We are not allowed to have a soft day, an off day, a half off day. We got to be strong, ready for everything at every turn. Everything that gets put in our lap, on our shoulders, on our back. We got to take that and keep going and keep going. That shit will drive you crazy.
It does. And the thing
I
about
speak
it
that.
is,
I speak that.
I was told once that I needed to stop taking on everything from my friends or people that were around me and people who needed assistance, and that I needed to take time for myself. I chose to take time for myself. And then all of a sudden I was called everything but my damn name. And I'm like, wait a damn minute. Did you tell me that in your space it was okay for, because I know I say that to my friends. You know that, Jillian, Tracy, now that you joined us, you know
Absolutely.
that I tell people, take your space. I don't condemn y'all for taking your space. If I try to call y'all or reach out and you're like, this ain't a good day, I'm like, okay, sending healing vibes and positive vibes, and I'll leave y'all alone till y'all come back to me, correct?
Yep.
It destroyed me. And I'm glad Tracy popped in when she did when I'm telling this story, because she knows. I broke down on the phone with her because I'm like, what the fuck? How am I wrong for finally, at 44 years old, I am, and I'm not saying I'm proud of this. I am not saying this is a badge of honor at all. I'm saying I finally learned a lesson and was willing to do my own self-care. I finally put up a boundary and said, hey, today I can't be here for nobody else.
Yeah.
I can't be here for nobody else. I'm going through so much. I don't know what's up, what's down, what's left, what's right. I got to deal with this. And then I was demonized by the same person who told me this is what's going to happen if you don't take a step back. And the day that I did it, what made me take a step back, because I'm always transparent, my dad was diagnosed with cancer. And I knew that day I wasn't going to be no more good. If anybody knows me, has followed me, has seen any of my content, you know how I feel about my daddy. Y'all know that I lost my mother to cancer. I lost my grandfather a year and a day before that. I lost another grandfather a year and a day before that grandfather. And a year after my mother passed away, actually a year and some change, Tracy's mother passed away. So I'm very sensitive about that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm not any good. I'm not going to be good to anybody. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to be willing to listen to you. You could be calling me to tell me that I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread and Betty White. I wouldn't hear you.
Right.
But if I say, hey, I need this day, and you can't give me this day, I don't think I'm the one that's in the wrong.
Not at all.
And let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all something. I have been dealing with my acknowledgement of having mental health issues since I was in my 20s. Okay, and I'm gonna break this down to you. The how I found out I was working a job in a call center, and I went months, probably about maybe 6 months, I don't know, with constant migraines. Okay,
Mm.
every day, like my head felt like it was about to explode. I'm seeing neuroscientists. I'm seeing every doctor in the world until the one doctor said, maybe you need to go see a psychiatrist. Huh?
Mm.
There's a tumor. Like my sister has a history of having migraines. She has a calcium tumor on her brain. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My mom has a history of migraines. You know, hers retired with PMS. So I have a history of migraines, but this wasn't the same type of migraine. So finally, I go see a psychiatrist. The moment I left the psychiatrist's office, when I tell you I felt like I could have ran the Boston Marathon, my head felt so much better because I got a lot off of my chest and did not know that's what the problem was. Like the minute I started opening up and talking, it's just like I felt it. So then from the psychiatrist, I was first just diagnosed as major depressive disorder, which is correct but incorrect at the same time. Okay. There
Mm.
was
Okay. Well, break that down for people. I know what you mean, but could you break that down a little bit more for the people watching, just so that they have a clear understanding in case maybe they feel like they have a misdiagnosis? That's the only reason why I'm asking.
major depressive disorder was just the first step in my diagnosis because it was just okay, this is our first meeting. You're definitely depressed. Your textbook major depressive disorder. We're going to start you off here, but we need to dive deeper. We need to dive deeper. We need to dive deeper. Okay. Now I have no problem now at this time. Let me take this story back a little bit because I'm 18 years old. I got my first body piercing. 20 something, I got my second body piercing. So I had my tongue pierced at this time. Okay. So I had this time, that's when they had all those, was coming out with those weird and funny tongue rings. So I went and got a tongue ring that was a little green pill to match the little green pill that I was given, which was Prozac. Okay. Yeah. The Prozac helped a little bit, helped me get somewhere, but it wasn't where it was supposed to be. So from seeing this psychiatrist, I went to see a psychologist because the psychiatrist prescribes the medication. Then you see all these other folks. Then they finally found me a therapist, right? So I went to my family and told my family, "Oh yeah, I have major depressive disorder." Blah 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 blah. That was the worst thing I could have did at that moment because I became such a villain. I became such a demon at that moment.
Mm.
You know, I'm already dealing with this shit now, and I have to worry about people in my family thinking that I'm crazy. And now, mind you, I got family members that work in the mental health field, but that's a whole nother story right there. Okay. I I have had several different therapists in my life. So one of my first therapists was this man. So how about somebody in my family member talked crap about this man that was my therapist? Oh, how you don't need to see him because he crazy. He just as crazy as you. He talked to himself. Blah 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 blah. This that and the third. This dog and my therapist. Okay. Now, mind you, I have people in my family that I have very educated people in my family, highly educated people in my family. People who work in drug and alcohol counseling, people that work with the school system, people that work in social services, people that work in banking. I have a very, very diverse background in my family. Okay. And this is all on my mother's side. This is all my maternal grandmother's children. Okay. And her sisters and brothers' children working in all these other industries as well. Like I have a cousin that owned a modeling agency, that was one of the best modeling agencies in Ohio. So, but that's a whole nother different set. You know what I'm saying? But I was seriously demonized by, I ain't gonna say demonized. Let me not say that. It's such a harsh word. I was talked about. I was made to feel really, really bad because I was depressed. And coming out to my friends and family, telling them about my issue, the one thing that always stuck when I said to people, and this is what killed me: why are you depressed? You ain't got no kids. What you got to be depressed for? It's only you. What you got to be depressed for? You got this good job. You get to see the world. Yada yada yada. What you got to be depressed about? So now I said major depressive disorder is my first diagnosis. So further down, I'm still seeing these therapists. Yeah, I'm diagnosed with major depressive disorder. I have PTSD. Yeah. I have bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 diagnoses. And this is just the beginning. Now, later on as an adult, I have been diagnosed with ADD, which kind of is jacked up because if they'd have diagnosed the ADD when I was younger, which, when we were growing up, they didn't have ADD. ADD was just hyper, just talk too much. Then maybe the bipolar diagnosis may not have been there. If you look at the symptoms, I'm just going to leave it right there. Look at the symptoms. But needless to say, I can't hear you, Taz. I see your mouth moving, but can't hear your lips.
Just so people understand, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm going to let you continue to tell your story, but I think there's a pivotal component that's missing. At the time that she was receiving this, she was a flight attendant.
No,
and not just
no, I wasn't a flight attendant then. The bipolar came as the flight attendant. The post-traumatic, the PTSD, and everything else was pre-flight attendant.
I'm talking about the bipolar, because when people were saying, because you brought up, oh, you get to travel all around the world. She wasn't just domestic. She was doing international travel. And people think that what you do or the places you go will make you feel better when you suffer from mental illness. And it doesn't matter where you are on the globe. If you're suffering from something, it's going to affect you. Your job does not determine who you are. Your friends don't determine who you are. And
pause that, Ebony, because here's the thing: you forget.
First of all, don't.
Job wasn't the first flight. The first.
Now I'm talking about you calling me by my goddamn middle name on this goddamn show. Oops, I'm sorry. My daddy gonna see this. Well, first of all, he see everything else, but y'all know what I mean.
So now you forget. Before I met you, I had a job in the aviation industry before I became a flight attendant.
Yeah, you also did something else, but I wasn't going to bring that up. I was just talking about you saying that people were like, hey, you get to travel the world. I wanted to understand, but I'm saying I wanted people to understand why you were able to travel the world, because I don't want people to look up your name and be trying to hit you up for stuff thinking that you like the Black Bill Gates of the internet, because that has happened before. Dion knows what I'm talking about, because we've had other people on and people get stuff misconstrued and folks want Dion, you know what I'm talking about.
So I've been in the aviation industry more than once. Okay. And I'm still in the travel industry now. Like that. A lot of my closest friends are pilots and flight attendants, but I've been in military. I've been in travel industry. I've worked in public schools. I worked in social service. I worked in banking. See, I've done all these wonderful careers, although I'm depressed, and although I'm bipolar, and I have all these issues, but I have all these things that should have been wonderful careers for a normal, healthy person who you know, who can make something of those careers and enjoy it, who does not have the mental health issues that I've had to deal with. Let me say it like that.
Me personally, I have a question for you, and I'm sorry I'm coming in here late. How has the depression or the ADHD affected your daily life? And if you've already talked about that, I'm sorry for asking late in the show.
Oh no, baby, you came just about as late as I did. So how has it affected my daily life? I actually now recognize when I'm in my dark space, and my therapy and I want to use the term ministry loosely because it has nothing to do with the church, is I can spot when someone is going through something. I can feel it, I can absorb it, and that's part of my issue, part of my mental health, is that I'm an empath, and that's a whole nother story. So
you're talking to an empath, honey.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we talk about the intersectionality of being an empath and having your own mental health struggles? If you feel like I'm going too far, being too personal, you do not have to answer.
I'm okay to answer that, but I'll listen to Trice first.
Tracy,
sorry.
Okay, first of all, let me say this. I really try to cut off my empath. I have to, because it affects me in the fact where I can't function. I'm so busy trying to fix everybody else's issue that my issues, my house, my life gets put to the back burner. My house is a mess because I'm working on everybody else's shit. So I'm that person that generally, if I walk up to you, be like, hey, how you doing? I'm saying that to you because I see it and I know something's wrong, and I really want to hear what's wrong. And during COVID, I've hugged strangers and say, shit's going to be okay. And that's part of how I am. Yep. And that's how I cope with my mental illness, because I'm sitting up there telling somebody, look, I know where I'm at. I know where their dark place is, and I know how it feels to live there because I have lived there. And I every day make a journey out of that darkness, and I make a point to look at myself and say, today's going to be a good day. It's going to be a bright day. And when people ask me how's my day, I'm like, oh, it's a day. It's a day. It's a day. Okay, I'm gonna put it right there. And and I have to explain to people, and I tell people a lot of times, I'm like, I have a mental illness. Oh, you suffer? I say no. First of all, I don't suffer from a mental illness. I make others suffer from my mental illness, and I enjoy it. That's that's the point that people fail to understand. I make others suffer from my mental illness, and I enjoy making y'all suffer. And they look at me like, what do you mean like that? Oh, I'm certified fucking crazy, as y'all would think. And
I said what I said.
But the fact is that
Tracy, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
You ever going through a bad day and this uppity bitch, I'm gonna say that, walks past you and thinks they on top of the world, and they sneer and look at you, and you just be like, I'm about to ruin your day. Anybody else do that?
Tracy, hold on. Tracy, let me take this one. I know it's directed at you, but we have a weird echo, so if everybody could mute real quick. I think it's very clear that I don't leave the house very often. Even before COVID, I didn't. That's just not my zhuzh. I know people have preconceived notions about me, but yesterday I did, because Dion already knows this. I signed up for a course, started taking notes, ran out of paper, had to go get paper. And I wanted to get a few other things because I was out at the store. The worker at the store, because the only lines that were open at that point were self-checkout, There were other people at self-checkout. She stood there watching me and had this uppity attitude. Now, to know me is to know me, and we know that I am a bougie bitch. I am the queen motherfucking bougie bitch, and there's some things that I will drop top dollar on, okay? Because I'm not trying to replace that shit. And I'm just sitting here like, I got 79-cent pencils, 89-cent packs of paper. I'm in yoga pants, a t-shirt, and hold on. I still got the purse right here. This little bitty purse. What pack of paper gonna fit in here? And she sat there watching me. And then she had that snooty patootie attitude, like, I'm better than you. I'm going. And I turned around and looked at her. And I said, just because your husband and your children are giving you grief does not mean that I'm going to give you grief. But you be blessed. And I hope the ancestors look upon you greatly. When I tell you her whole soul and her face hit the floor, bounced off and bounced out the door as I walked out. Because I have learned, and this is the one thing that I am really, really, truly grateful for COVID for, and the lockdown and everything that we've had to do. I've learned that a lot of my anxiety isn't in my head. A lot of my anxiety is actually the people that are around me at the time that I'm out somewhere. That they're so focused on staring at me, following me around, that I am doing that. And there are a couple people on this panel that know that I've recently signed up for a class through the ACLU because there's legislation that is near and dear to my heart. And the class started up this week. We're not going to get on how many notes I take tonight, Dion. Or Tracy. But let's just say, I read a lot of studies today. And I realized that a lot of mental illness and mental health issues within BIPOC people, as much as we try to give people cutesy names, Bleach Barracuda, Karen, Geese Yeti Yardigans, and everything else, they can push us into PTSD. They can push us to a realm that is unhealthy to live. Because another thing that I noticed, that if a cashier hands me a receipt or I get a receipt, I carry it in my hand until I have the vast majority of my things in my car. Then and only then do I feel comfortable putting it in my purse. That's trauma. That's imploding upon the anxiety, the ADHD, and the depression that I already have. And I do have a question to the panel. For those people that want to be close to us, that aren't, I'm going to call a spade, that aren't Black, that are able to maneuver through society undetected, and then they turn on you, how does that affect your mental health? Anybody can answer.
It makes me go back to a place in my heart and in my mind where I feel like the world is against me, where I feel like I can't trust anyone. And if we're gonna stay true to the subject, like people with black people with mental health, I know for my own sake, I have a lot of mental health trauma from my family alone. And people like that already got trust issues. So opening a door for you to walk in, knowing what society is like, and then you turn around and you stab the heart that let you in, you trying to breed serial killers. You trying to breed people who don't want to deal with society. You are trying to breed someone who is a monster. because that's what you are suited to believe in your heart of minds, but you don't want to say it out of your mouth.
That part right there.
I am tired of that.
Let me say this to y'all as a whole. Here's what I have learned and come to understand. There are those who are aware that they have a mental illness and are willing to accept it and work towards handling their mental illness in themselves and making themselves healthy. There are those who have a mental illness, know they have a mental illness, ain't doing shit about their mental illness. There are those who don't know they have a mental illness, don't want to admit they have a mental illness. Basically, the whole world has a mental illness. There's something wrong with it. There is nobody walking this earth is completely and totally dictionary definition of the word sane.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that. And this is why I posed the question. Because here's the thing. I know because as many people know, there's not a social media platform that I'm not on. And I get a chance to see people be vulnerable and cry out for help online because of the parameters that I put in. I know that people that are close to me get very frustrated with me, thinking that I spread myself too thin to help people, but I know what it's like to feel alone. And I know I'm only one person, and even though one person can say a few words, that can make you no longer feel alone. But I have noticed, especially during COVID, BIPOC individuals that have disclosed that they have some type of mental health care issue have been targeted, and people will befriend them, then get in their head, exasperate that issue, and then turn on them and have other people turn on them and go, see, that's just them. That's their personality. No, just because you live with something does not mean that is your personality. We all four of us on this panel, and even people watching, we all have personalities. Our personalities have nothing, let me repeat, have nothing to do with a diagnosis. It doesn't make us lazy. It doesn't make us less lackadaisical. It does not make us more confrontational. It doesn't make us liars. It doesn't make us any of that. It means that on a day-to-day basis, we may have to take a few more steps, or we may have to take a few more precautions, because people who act like they aren't suffering or living with the same thing that we're living with want to be on the constant attack, because within the United States, I'm not going to talk about other countries, but in the United States, it's a dog eat dog world. It's I got to prove I'm better than you world. I got to prove that I'm the alpha of this group world. And my thing is, how does that help anybody? Because at the end of the day, when you're exposing someone for their depression, their anxiety, their bipolar, their even schizophrenia, what are you gaining? What are you gaining? You think that you've become the leader of this group, but what are you leading? Because bullshit can't move.
See, I'm gonna share something with y'all, and Jelly Bean, you may know, she probably tell you about it all the time. I have come to a point where I limit everything in social media. Social media to me is less than watching television. And I watch more television than I probably should admit to, okay? Down. I don't do social media so much because I was dating someone who everything we did, they had to put it on social media to prove that their family in their life that they were doing stuff. And I'm like, how can you enjoy this beautiful world out here? How can you enjoy these experiences if you're turning on Facebook Live and showing your family this is where I'm at? Okay. how can you enjoy it if you're not seeing it? You're seeing it through the lens of your phone. Now, there's a difference between using your phone to take pictures to give you a lasting memory. Okay? And I said, if you want to record everything that you do and see, get you a GoPro, wear it on your damn head and keep on moving. Now, having said that, now, years ago, my daddy has a lot of children. Years ago, I was hanging out with some friends and I was living at home in Cincinnati, which is where I'm from. I live there no longer. My baby sister was out with me and my friends, and she heard one of my friends look at me and she said, "Girl, you crazy as hell." And I turned to look. I said, "Yep, have been since the day I was born, will be until I die." Now, next. And my sister, she looked at me and that anger in her eyes. And when my friend said that, she put me to the side. She said, "How can you let her get away with calling you crazy?" I, at this time, did not know crazy was her trigger word from her issues. She said, "You seriously just sat there and let this woman call you crazy and you ain't finna whoop her ass?" I said, "Because I'm crazy as cat shit. She know it. I know it. She's not insulting me. She is acknowledging that, yes, I know you can fuck me up. But when she was using that term crazy, she was using it as in I'm silly as hell. Okay." And I was like, you're not using it as a derogatory term. She was using it like, "Oh my God, you about to make me spit this drink through my nose. You so fucking crazy. Quit doing that so I can laugh and not be hurt." Right? And she's like, "That is such a trigger word for me. Every time somebody call me crazy, I get ready to fight." I said, "That's because you're letting somebody own you. Crazy does not define me. Crazy, to me," I said, "Let me explain this to you. Crazy means cute, right, attractive." You see where I'm going?
And just so that you all are clear, Tracy came to me. What was it? Was it last week?
Mm-hmm.
My days are running into each other. I will be helping her build a merch line. So all these lovely catchphrases and these anagrams that she has up, you'll be able to get on t-shirts, cups, mugs, all of that good stuff. We will have that for you. So you can wear it with pride.
But understand this. I gave her every good word for those letters. I said, "Yes, I am. I'm fucking batshit crazy. I'm that bitch. You want to know why? Because I can make you laugh. I can make you cry. I can make you run the fuck away from me." I said, "It depends on which side of the damn coin you want to be on."
And just real quick before you go, Deshaun. Also, don't forget, like I said before, one person that I do dually support and supports the show, the link tree that's connected here on YouTube, on my fan pages, on Facebook, and on Instagram, is DMAC5x5. He has an amazing merch line. Make sure you get in order from him. Like, when I tell you the sayings, the designs, the colors, baby, get into it. But let's see what John has to say.
I do want to say, like, people are not okay right now. Whether you're black, indigenous, white, it don't matter. If you are a human being on this world and you're going through this pandemic, you are not okay. For a person with mental health issues, I can barely get in to see my doctor when I need to. There are not outlets that, as me, who feels comfortable talking with. If you're like me and you're an empath, we're going to touch into that. You don't feel comfortable with weighing all your problems on somebody else, but you'll sit there and you'll take all their problems from them.
And try to solve them.
And you will try, yes, you will try to solve them. And like, I mean, me personally, I'm gonna let y'all know, and I don't care who knows. I've been crying all day because I can't deal with it no more. I try to go on that, and you, in a person with mental health, will try to be strong to the point that they drive themselves crazy. And no matter how many times I use my coping skills, like the doctors say they should, my problem's still there. My issues are still there. And Black families, just sometimes it's not even worth saying you have an issue or you're depressed with them. I come from a family where everybody's either a doctor, a lawyer, something of an insurance company, whatever. And you just gotta sit there and be preached down to, like they know what they're going through, but like it's so many levels on that situation where you don't know what to do. And I'm at the point where I can't breathe no more. I can't. Every 15 minutes today, I start crying. People are not okay during this pandemic.
No, they're not. And the hardest part about being Black, especially in this country, because United States Christianity is different than Christianity every place around the world. Let me give y'all a little history lesson right now, because I'm tired of people saying and thinking that Black people were introduced to Christianity when they came to this country as slaves. That is a lie. That is a fallacy. The Church of Ethiopia is one of the longest standing churches ever. And there were people that were baptized before they were abducted and imported into this country. And they were baptized under a whole different doctrine than what they were put before when they came over to the United States. And then they realized that they needed to be rebaptized. And they realized that they kind of had to politicize religion, just like they're doing up until this day, in order to become free, until white folks got a hold of, oh, Black people ain't that stupid. But Black families, especially religious Black families, and I don't care how educated you believe that you are, because there are people, just like Carter G. Woodson says in his book, The Miseducation of the Negro. You can attempt to think that you are educating yourself, but you are continuously miseducating yourself, especially when you hold on to a radicalized, changed, alternated religion that keeps changing every 3 decades. And if you think I'm lying, Google is free. So is Yahoo, Firefox, Bing, and everything else. Stop saying that mental illness is a demon that can be prayed away. Stop saying that everything about us is a demon and can be prayed away. No, we need to talk through these things, and we need to fix generational curses, which is actually just generational habits that are passed down through our families that need to stop. If you can sit there, and I'm going to use myself as an example. I started off raising my children the way that I was raised. I started getting heavily criticized, but instead of giving pushback, and Tracy is here to be a testament to it, because she has been there virtually every step of the way while I was raising my damn kids. And then I met Jilly, and she understands also. I started doing some introversion, and I was like, okay, let's start having weekly meetings of the family, and y'all tell me, because I was getting criticized. While my mother, may she rest with the ancestors, was getting praised for having the same rules that I had. Now, I corrected myself and realized some of these rules were archaic, barbaric, were not fair to the children. That my children were acting out because of discomfort around certain people. And I needed to acknowledge that and stop taking my children around certain people. Stop putting my children in certain circumstances. Stop going by the same adage of, oh, that's your uncle, that's your aunt, go give them a hug. I stopped doing that, but nobody noticed that. And it went from, oh, you got the same rules as your mama, we gonna condemn you, but we gonna love her, to I got accused of child abuse because me and my children made the decision we weren't gonna pay for cable anymore because we were watching everything on Hulu way back when Hulu was free. All you had to do was have Wi-Fi. So please tell me how the hell that was child abuse. I was the parent that was driving the kids everywhere, was taking coaching jobs, president of the PTO and everything else. But because I chose to not sit there and squabble with certain people about generational rules that they now found offensive because they didn't like it because they were raised under it and realized that they were wrong. And I decided to step up out on a limb and change them, I was still criticized. So my thing is, and Tracy made a good point earlier. There's nobody on this planet that's quote unquote normal. All of us are living with something. So if we're all living with something, who are you to spend your time not working on yourself to be better for those around yourself? Because as my daddy says, we don't live to ourselves and we don't die to ourselves. Our lives and our deaths affect other people and people we don't even know that affects them.
Can I say something?
Who? Just a moment. Who are you to come and tell me that my shit stank enough to light up the whole country while you shitting droves of horses field of it at my front door? To try to tell me that I'm wrong, to try to tell me that I'm bad. And can we also stop normalizing being okay when motherfuckers claiming that somebody came to them with bullshit about you for months? And you not saying shit till you get pissed off at that person. I've noticed this during COVID. I'm not saying it didn't manifest before COVID, but it's way worse now. Where now all of a sudden somebody decides that they don't like you. And they put all of your shit, all of their shit, on you and go, well, they've been telling me for 12 months that they thought this. Okay, what? Yeah, no, look at the person who quote unquote held this information in and ask them, bitch, why you hold this in? Why are you doing this? If we're all in this fight together and we're all feeling some type of way, just like I have plenty of people on a daily basis vent to me. I don't release what they vent about because we could all be having a fucked up, badass day. We don't mean it. We'll say some shit because, like today, I didn't leave my house at all. I was here taking care of little AJ, my little Gigi baby. He had a messed up ankle. I started a brand new class today. If you think my anxiety wasn't at 1,000,000, baby, it was. Thank goodness I had a good friend that I could call in the middle of the day like, hey, I know this is your break. Can I just talk to you? I vented to him. He vented to me. We vented to we let it pass. We knew we didn't mean what the fuck we were saying. We just needed to get some anxiety and some anger out. And especially during COVID. Can we stop? This is why we have so many beefs all over fucking social media. Because people want to act like they better than somebody in the United States. And I'm saying that specifically because this seems to be a thing within the United States of, I got to feel better than you. You this type of hoe. You that type of hoe. You this type of nigga. You that type of nigga. I'm better than you because I heard you say this. Motherfucker, we all suffering together. There's our favorite friends, our favorite family members that we can't reach out and touch right now. There's people that we done bonded with during this that we can't even meet face to fucking face because people can't goddamn get it together. But you dusty ass motherfuckers want to get up here and create beefs and talk shit about people and push people to the brink. Today alone, I got 5 notifications of TikTok creators that are dead. Dead. They can't come back to continue the argument with you. They can't come back to forgive you because you decided to be a bona fide bitch. Let me repeat that, because you decided to be a bona fide bitch. And excuse me for coming at people the way that I am, but I'm so damn tired of people saying, hey, I suffer from this, I suffer from that, but they always on the constant attack. Because when you really live with this shit, you can't attack nobody else. The only thing you can do is defend yourself, because you know what the other person is dealing with. And even if you're on your worst day, and I believe everybody on this panel can tell me, and people that are watching can agree, that even on your worst day, you wouldn't want to see your worst motherfucking enemy go through what the fuck you're going through. And that's when you get benevolent and be like, you know what? What you need? How can I help you? You know, this service can help you. You know, that service can help you. So can we finally stop this I'm better than you bullshit ass beef within the United States of trying to one up people and demonize mental health issues, especially people within the BIPOC community having mental health issues, and you fake ass bullshit ass allies. I don't give a goddamn what you look like, because you could be an ally to me as a queer black woman and still be black and still fuck me over. I don't give a goddamn what you look like, what you claim your resume is. I don't give a fuck. Can we finally stop? Because you ain't leading shit if you putting your foot on the neck of another person. I'm done.
I do want to add on to that just a little bit, because Taz pretty much hit that nail on the head. I'm gonna put myself out there. I personally have too much to worry about than who the fuck you feuding with, because either some people couldn't mind their own damn business and stay the fuck out of it. I recently had a humbling situation for me. You may never know, that person that you trying to attack might be the most nicest person that you have ever fucking met.
Say that.
And they don't fucking know you. Humble pie is nasty. I understand. Eat some. That's all I have to say. Sorry. I
want to say this to you, Dion. That load that you carry, that got you crying all day today, pack that bag and dump it on somebody. The same way motherfuckers dump shit on you. You want to know why I'm telling you that as an empath? Because it feels so good finally to unload what you're packing on somebody else that understands why you're unloading it to them. They're not going to carry it for you. They're helping you put the shit away.
She's right. And that's why, Deanna, I know you and I have had certain conversations, but that's why over the years, and Jillian and Tracy can confirm what I'm about to say. This is why I could be dog dead ass tired. I could have been frustrated through the day. If people call me, I'm there to listen. And there are times where people are like, are you still there? And I'm like, yeah, I'm listening. Because, and what people need to realize, everybody doesn't want you to fix their problems.
Sometimes they just want you to hear it.
And you can tell in the inflection in their voice when they just want you to hear. And you need to just sit there, shut the fuck up, and hear it, no matter how they deliver it. And a lot of times as humans, we try to take it personally, and we have to disassociate ourselves with that and let someone dump on us and realize how much we dump on them. And let me say this to the panel. I know some of y'all already, well, actually all of y'all already know, but let me also say this. I'm here for you. I'm not here to fix anybody. But you vent with me, y'all know it's a vault. Once you tell me, don't nobody else know about it. But I am tired of people making faux friendships just to gather information, just to dump their bullshit off on people. And we're in the midst of a pandemic. And just like Jillian said, everybody is going through something. And just like Dion said, everybody is going through something. Everybody is affected in different ways. How dare you? How dare you put more on somebody than what they're already going through? How dare you? Especially the motherfuckers who will say or do anything to try to climb to the top of a food chain in a friendship and not want to be questioned on anything, but want to down somebody that they know is going through some shit. You got to be a special level of don't give a fuck. I don't have any empathy. I don't have a goddamn. You're worse than a goddamn Grinch that stole Christmas, because even his motherfucking heart grew. We're all in this together. If you are not willing to help your fellow man, it's bad enough. Half of you motherfuckers don't want to wear a goddamn mask. But on top of that, you gonna sit there and dog out your neighbor, dog out your brother, dog out your sister, dog out your cousin for what? What the fuck does it gain you? Because once somebody is gone, they're gone. There's no amount of Ouija boards, there's no amount of candles, there's no amount of sage that's gonna bring them back, that's gonna give you forgiveness or closure. When you push somebody to the point where they decide, I can't do it anymore, what the fuck are you going to do? Because, first of all, I'm always open and honest on all of my platforms. Last Tuesday, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Let me look y'all straight in the motherfucking eye. I tried to end it. Am I proud of it? No, but I did. The person who noticed it has been on my ass ever since. How the fuck is that helpful? And the reason why I got to that point is because someone that I thought was helping me was not helping me. I thought that this person that I could trust, that I thought I had built a foundation with, would help me, and they fucking didn't. And quite honestly, the next day, did I wake up feeling the same fucking way? Yes, I did. You want to know what kept me from repeating the process? People who had no idea what the fuck I was going through, but some way, somehow felt that something was wrong and reached out to me and was like, hey, you mean this to me. You're an inspiration to me. What do you need? How can I help you? Your vibe is different. What's going on with you? But the person that I had spent 2 months bleeding my heart out to, thinking that they could help me, it was nothing. And let me put this disclaimer out, because the last time I was open and honest, it got misconstrued. Let me reiterate, for the past 2 months, I had a conversation with this person. So before anybody else gets in their feelings and thinks that I'm talking about them, leave your paranoia on a whole different motherfucking app, and leave your paranoia with the bullshit you told people elsewhere. And I said what the fuck I said. Scream, squirt that, and send it the fuck around. We're all going through shit. I'm not doing this with y'all no more. Everybody is going through something right now in this pandemic. When my mother was dying of cancer, I could be her primary caregiver. I could go to all her appointments. In full disclosure, my father now has cancer. I can't go to his treatment with him. So while you motherfuckers want to sit out here and talk shit, tell me how to get over that. Tell me how to deal with my depression, anxiety, and ADHD, knowing I can't be there for my father. Knowing that the best I can do is sit out in the goddamn parking lot. I'll wait. Tell me again how a motherfucker sent you this shit. Send me another motherfucking meme about, oh, this is Taz after conversations with Taz. Yeah, I'm going there. Because what you will not do today, tomorrow, or the next day is fuck with somebody's mental health while you claim that you're having mental health issues your goddamn self. And one thing's for sure, two things for certain. On every platform that I've ever had, since AOL, through MySpace, through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and now motherfucking YouTube, the one thing that I am is real as fuck. I don't have to buy shit from motherfuckers. I ain't got to lie to motherfuckers about shit. And I ain't got to simultaneously buy shit and lie to motherfuckers and say some shit because I keep telling different stories to different motherfuckers. And when this live is done, this video will still be up and you heard what I said. So while I'm going through shit, and you want to come at me, and you want to have people attack me, what good does it do to you? Because wasn't it just last week that you were praising me for fighting through what the fuck I'm going through and still battling for marginalized communities? So tell me what the fuck happened after you got arrested and lied about it. And I found out that my daddy is possibly dying. Anybody? Anybody? Tell me how the fuck that shit makes sense. We're all supposed to be collectively fighting for marginalized communities and fighting to get equity and get forward. But the motherfucker that damn near everybody on TikTok calls to resolve their issues says that they need a goddamn day. And my boundaries and my mental health means nothing to you? So anybody on the panel.
Do you mind if I say something on that?
Hold on, I got a question. Anybody on this panel, if you get the news that your parent is fucking dying, would you keep me as a friend if I go the fuck off on you? I'll wait.
Well, I can speak from personal experience. It was a live session that I was on with Taz and some other people. My mother had died. And I barely kept it together through the live. But she still sat there. She listened to me cry. I had a full-blown episode in my kitchen. Throwing tables and shit. If your real friend, and even though other people had to get off because they had to deal what they had to do with life, she stayed on the phone with me until my fiance got home. Now I will say this, and Taz, you can tell me shut up if you want to.
Speak your truth. I don't.
Me and her have had our own disagreements. But grown ass people who care about each other ain't gonna go talk about you out the side of their neck to somebody else.
Say that.
If it's between you two, leave it between you two. If you express some hurt that you feel to somebody else, that's fine. But I'm gonna tell you right now, even though me and her weren't getting along, I still wished her love, joy, and everything else. And it hurts my heart because I've already lost both my parents. And I don't want anybody to join me in that situation. And the way I look on it is, and I'm sorry to say this, Taz, and I'm not trying to make you feel some type of way.
Speak your truth.
My friend might have to join me. So will I be on the phone with her? Yes, I will. Will I be on the phone with her nonstop until she feels comfortable or until she needs to go to bed? Hell yeah. We can have some snacks. I might teach her some of my recipes. I know she's taught me a couple. People are dealing with so much more than you can possibly understand, and they do not need you to add on to it.
And that's the thing. And I'm glad you said what you said, because I'm going to tell y'all something, and I know it's... I was told that I make everything about myself. I'll let y'all handle
alone on that one. Look, everything is about me.
And it affected my mental health to the point where I called my dad, I called my brothers, I called my children. I felt like I was going insane. I was like, am I delusional? Am I thinking I'm one way and I'm presenting to the world a different way?
Taz, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I got enough guts to be honest with you on your show.
I love honesty.
You sometimes get a big head, but we all get a big head sometimes. Have you made serious situations only about you? I've never seen you do that. I've experienced you want your credit for your ideas and for your nourishment to certain things, yes. Because every woman, and I've noticed that Black women are so, from my own personal experience, Black women have always had their credit taken away from them, even by Black men.
Every damn day.
And I'm going to be honest with the crowd right now. I don't care who judges me. I'm guilty. I've done it. But at the end of the day, I want people to understand, does Taz get a big head? Yes. But look at the accomplishments. And look at how humble that she keeps herself.
That one. Don't shake it off. It's the truth.
Taz, I love you. Just take it and receive it, please. The best way you can.
She ain't going to. That's what she is. Because she about to start tearing up. First of all, let me say this. Her big-headed ass. Because she's the one.
We're not about to talk about me, y'all.
Oh, I'm about to talk about that.
I'm just saying, I'm about to ride this pony too.
And the reason why I'm about to talk about you is I'm about to give you flowers today, because I'm snatching them from tomorrow. Yeah, that's that look I was on. I wouldn't have my degree if it wasn't for for Taz. I would not have my degree.
That is not true. You would have that degree.
She pushed me harder than anybody I know to finish and get it. Because there was times that I wanted to quit. There was times that I could have quit. And there was times that I needed a stiff foot up my ass and wear me like a shoe.
That was all you. That was not me. That was all you.
Now, that was you putting your foot up my ass like my mama used to. That was her encouraging me to keep to it. Like she's saying, it was all me now. That was her having my back, encouraging me to stick to it. Because anybody with bipolar disorder, you will cut and run in a heartbeat. You will get interested in something else, especially when you're ADHD, and lose focus. So me here in North Carolina, Taz in Ohio, sit there and push me to do what I had to do.
I have to say this before I have to go because I have to go pick up my fiance. A long time ago.
Just do final thoughts because y'all getting up.
No. Can I please say this? A long time ago, I was one of those people who did not see that we were our ancestors. Cass has not only taught me that we are our ancestors, but she has taught me by word and by action. Please pay attention to people's mental health. I love all three of you lovely queens, but I have to go.
Before you go, Dion, I got one thing to say to you.
We love you too, Dion.
Let me say this to you. While you're going through what you're going through, there is not a masterpiece on this earth that is not flawed. The entire piece of lean. The Venus don't have any oil. Okay? There is no work of art that is not damaged. We are all work of art.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to start calling myself a beautiful disaster work of art. That's what I'm going to start calling myself.
Call yourself Picasso.
I love you guys. Huh?
Call yourself Picasso.
Okay. All right. Talk to you guys later. Love and light. Bye-bye.
See you later, Dion.
Okay. Can we just get to the final thoughts? Because
no, we can't because I ain't get to jump on the pony yet. I'm about to ride it.
She ain't said shit. Gonna ride that pony, boo. Ride it.
Look, we out here. All of that. Taz, mother of four to mother of four. I wouldn't be where I'm at without your encouragement. Every day, I strive to have the relationship you have with your kids. Because mine's still little. I still got a long way to go before I can get to them getting on my nerves and bringing me my grandbabies because I was a good mother. I made decisions for my kids based on what was needed for me, for them, and for them, for me. You helped me with that. My mentor. For one, you're a fantastic mother, a fantastic human. You sexy as hell.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. I dream about you. I'm gonna say it. I'm Alligator Day. You better take all your accomplishment, put every last one of them jewels in your crown, straighten that crown, and keep moving forward. You got 3 people who just told you their truth of who you've been in their life to help them be better people. You take all of your jewels and shine them to death, especially that sexy jewel.
I didn't do anything. All I did was stand on the sideline and shake my pom-poms for y'all. Like, really, that's all I did.
And that's all we needed sometimes.
Trying to tackle us. Come on now. Yeah, bitch.
Look.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I forgot about that part. Mm-hmm. But y'all know I don't.
And you know what? And that's okay. You don't have to, because here's the thing. You don't have to know what you do to make you a great person. Other people who know what you do to them to make you great to them. So for someone to sit there and try to say you're not great, they don't see themselves in at all, and therefore they can't see you. Because I know I'm a great person.
That one.
I'm a wonderful person. I can tell you every wonderful thing about me. Let's start with I'm loud, I'm rude, I'm obnoxious, and those are the good qualities.
I just make people. I just know that. Okay, I learned this from Cheesy. Since we're doing this, let me tell y'all what I learned from Tracy and what I learned from Jelly Bean. I am so feminine that I make people have a pause and they feel like they have to protect me.
Yes, you are so feminine that you make people have a pause and have to protect.
But I will also fuck your ass up.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
You are a woman.
I appreciate what everybody has said tonight, and there are things that have been said tonight that I didn't know. I honestly didn't know, and y'all are probably looking at me like, well, Heifer, how did you not know? How can I explain my perspective? One, I don't do anything for a pat on the back. I do things because they're on my heart and because I believe in people. Two,
yes,
I really see myself as being on the sidelines with some pom-pom just going A, D, E, F, E, like defense. Like that's how I see myself. I don't have the words right now. I don't feel like I can.
Okay, let me explain this to you. You may see yourself on the sidelines being a cheerleader, but what you don't understand is a lot of times you're not on the sidelines being a cheerleader. A lot of times you are the support to that person's, you're pushing that person's back and holding them up.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, you are a wonderful cheerleader. You are a wonderful defensive end. I'm gonna tell you that out front. You're a wonderful defensive end. But even more, you are wonderful at supporting someone and helping them keep going. You have a way of motivating people, probably through fear, but no, just kidding. Just kidding.
People be afraid of me. I'm barely 5 foot. Okay. I'm not gonna tell people my actual height. Because I know my angles and I'm gonna let people still think that they know my
But the fact is you are a mother. You are a woman. And as a mother and a woman, we know how to support people and give them that motivation and give them that extra push. Where you think you're just cheering someone on, you're giving them that extra push. And a lot of times you don't realize you're giving them that extra push that they need. Because a lot of us don't get that push from other people, and you're there to give it.
Yeah, and I think that's what got me last week and why I had to take a hiatus. And because I've been so transparent with people, I'm like, you know what? I'm over the dumb shit. I'm over being caught in people's patterns. I'm over being caught in people's bullshit.
You're over trying to fix people finally.
And
that's a hard thing to do.
But here's the thing. I believe that's why Howard, and I'm just talking about the people on the panel right now. I'm not taking anything away from Dion because he had to leave. I'm just speaking on the people in the panel right now because I've known them the longest. I don't have to fix you.
Hell no, because I'm gonna shout my shit right back. I like being broken.
My thing is, I can just be your friend. Mm-hmm. I can just call and be like, hey, Jelly Bean, what's up? What's going on? Like, I can be like, Tracy, what's up today? Like, that's what I can do.
You were sloppy today.
it was also brought to my attention that, and it's foreign to me, I can be intimidating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't see how, but I guess that's just me looking at me. And people can be jealous of me. And I'm like, I've had to restart my life 3 times from nothing. How could you possibly be jealous of me?
Because you do not look like the journey you've been on. You don't look like you've been rolled hard and hung up.
You went right. You've been through the fire. You don't smell like smoke.
And let's say, yes, you can be intimidating because, for one, and I've told you this constantly, and it is not an insult, so don't misunderstand what I'm saying when I say this to her. You are an intellectual narcissist.
Wait, what? Explain. Because you didn't use the second word every other time you explained this to me.
What, narcissist or intellectual?
You said I was an intellectual bully.
That too. Ooh. But you are an intellectual narcissist. And you're also an attractive woman. And you realize that you
got to break down this intellectual narcissist thing, because I know the definition of narcissist, and that is giving me great anxiety right now.
Let me finish. You grew up knowing what you did by modeling that you had a road to take. You can either be beautiful or you can be smart. You chose to be both beautiful and smart. And you chose to show everyone how smart you are as opposed to how beautiful you are. So you enjoy gaining intellect. You enjoy sharing your intellect. You don't. Now, when people say narcissist, they think of it as a bad thing, because most narcissistic people use their for a bad issue. You use your intellect, you use your thirst, your desire to be smart and to show everyone how smart you are to help everyone.
You're right. Yeah, because there are plenty of times.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, because I get what she's saying now, because I do realize I probably drive y'all crazy because I learned something new.
And you're always drilling it in your.
I love it.
And I'm quick to call y'all like, hey, I learned this. You got to learn it too.
I love it. You know, I'm trying to learn every day.
Hey, let me tell you. Let me explain something to you. And the day Chadwick was old and died, she called me Black Panther died. She didn't say the name myself. Huh? She said Black Panther died. I said, they killed the movie? Okay. Now, because I'm thinking they done killed the production of the movie because Chadwick died. She was trying to tell me that Chadwick died. I'm like, oh, you mean Chadwick died? I know, I cried already. She said Black Panther, being the nerd that she is, thinking that I'm going to equate what she's saying to her love of nerded.
Well, also who
was in the room at that time,
and who I introduced to Marvel, and who I introduced to Black Panther.
Her Gigi babies. So she came at me with Gigi baby on the mind, forgetting that I was in love with the actor and I've seen his body of work, because she knows.
Well, they were still awake. They didn't know his real name.
Yeah. So, but you understand, like, she loves to Marvel Universe me to death.
I'll give you some DC too.
And DC Comic me too, because she know I'm still stuck on Hanna-Barbera.
Period.
First of all, they need to bring my blue ice cream back to Kings Island. And I know y'all old enough to understand my blue ice cream at Kings Island.
And you understand, old enough to understand why I said Hanna-Barbera.
I love Smurf ice cream.
That's what I'm talking about. When it was still Hanna-Barbera land, we got the Smurf ice cream. Am I lying?
Nope, you're not.
And that shit slapped. That shit was
Look at Taz's boyfriend. Look at that. Look at your bitch, dog. Look at your bitch, little boy.
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all, she brought Doodle. Well, she came to visit me, but we're gonna say she brought Doodle to visit me because I know he can hear me, and I don't need the repercussions tomorrow. If y'all don't think that he does not have human tendencies, he does. He made me lay all the way down on my own damn floor so he could jump up and lay on my damn chest for me to pet him. Do y'all know how hard it is to lay on the floor and let a dog be up on your chest and you got a fucking mask on? I felt like Future. Mask on, mask off.
He trained his bitches.
Ooh. Look, Congo.
I wish I could have a comeback, but when I went down to visit Patrice, I had to sleep on the floor because Doodle decided he wanted to sleep with me. And at that time, he couldn't sleep on the furniture and he wouldn't go to sleep. So you know what my goofy ass did, Jilly Bean? I slept on the motherfucking floor. That's what the fuck I did. You know what? Yeah. I'm a simp. Look. And somebody needs to help me find a fur baby. All my friends got fur babies and I ain't got one.
Come on, Congo. Big ass. No, I didn't say lay down, you fat fuck.
Whatever. Forget all of y'all. Somebody help me find a fur baby. Somebody. I prefer to do a rescue.
You want Karen?
Here your fur baby. Come get him.
Wait. Karen. Oh, yeah.
You have Karen.
I'll take Karen. I can dress her up.
Look him turn his back to me.
She love that shit.
Look, y'all see what he did? I said, come get your fur baby. He turned his back to me.
Because I said I wanted Karen at the same time and he turned his back.
Motherfucker.
The shade. But I'll take Karen. I can dress Karen up.
Karen likes to sleep under the blankets. Karen likes to Onyx buys her bras one size too big because Karen likes to sit in her bra.
Tracy, you want to tell her about Chi Chi?
She's a skin to skin dog.
Tracy, you want to tell her about Chi Chi?
You're not allowed to play with their animals, Doodle. You're good at purpose.
Oh no,
from these crazy motherfuckers.
My dog Chi Chi, which I knew Chi Chi was not going to have a long lifespan because when I got her, they told me about a hernia that she had that we could not operate on. I knew.
Chi Chi argued with me over fucking sun chips.
She likes sun chips. Shit.
Karen,
and for some reason, Tracy always had sun chips when she came to my house. And then some fucker hit Chi Chi with a truck.
Oh.
And then Chi Chi decided she didn't like me anymore because she blamed me for it. And she only liked my granny. So I basically had to have my granny at my house every fucking day.
Chi Chi tried to steal my triple decker.
There was bacon on it. She liked bacon. Because that was the time that Granny started coming over and making stuff for Cheech. First of all, did you forget that Granny and Papa gave Snowball, my first pet ever, the cat, the all-white cat, filet mignon and grilled salmon and shit. And she started coming over cooking for Cheech. I couldn't afford to feed Chi-Chi after Granny got a hold of her. I could barely afford to feed me and the goddamn kids. You went to the grocery store with us. Shit. Granny got a hold of Chi-Chi. I couldn't afford to feed the fucking dog. And now the dog won't butcher cut bacon and shit. Like she got real highbrow and shit on me. The fuck?
Got bougier than a mama.
And I'm bougie as fuck.
What?
Oh shit, we a whole half hour after time.
And
it's been a good show.
But
I mean, I'm not complaining. I just looked up and realized.
I got to say this. Y'all got to understand this. This show was about mental health issues, right? We went from discussing mental health issues to having this conversation. That right there lets you know that we all got some mental health issues. Because we couldn't topic.
That's a fact.
Well, you all know I am not a stickler for rules. So wherever the conversation goes, I like to go with it. I'm not Oprah Winfrey. I'm not Barbara Walters. I go with the flow. And y'all been on the phone with me. Y'all been in my homes. Y'all know how I do. I don't give a fuck. Wherever the night leads us, wherever the conversation leads us, that's where we're going, right?
I've been
Although the last time Jilly Bean visited me, the night led us to me being involved in a blackout.
I'm not even gonna talk about where that night led, so that's a whole nother story. Jilly
No,
Bean.
I'm saying Jilly came to because she was collecting for I forget what organization.
Funds.
And I was like, oh, I'll go get some stuff.
Freedom School. That's what it was.
Yeah, and I was going to bring it to her. And she was like, no, I'm going to be in your area. I'll come pick it up. We sitting there chopping it up. I'm hugging on her. I'm trying. Soon as I was like, let me get a picture. Whole building goes out of power. I'm like, the universe hates me. I waited all this time. And there was just one particular place on Facebook that I just wanted to put that picture of me and Jilly. Because I knew that there were going to be some people that were jealous, and y'all don't have to judge me, but these motherfuckers that came hard at me for months, okay? And they're like, you don't really know her. You don't really know her. Out. Because, people judge stuff like, oh, you're not in this Facebook group, or y'all don't comment on each other's posts. Motherfucker, we don't see all of each other's posts. Like, that doesn't mean we don't know each other. So I was like, let me get this picture to be like, haha, bitches, yes, we do know each other. Power went out. And we both black.
Well, I'm kind of light.
But without that backlight, motherfucker, then wouldn't nobody have seen my chocolate ass shit.
Well, all I gotta say
is saying, when the lights go out, we the same color.
That's what I was trying to tell you. I tried to get you to go in my bedroom, but you was like, I gotta go back up.
Over. When this pandemic is over.
Trying to turn me out.
When this
shit, Sherlock. Huh?
I don't think that's something.
First of all, wifey, we're polyamorous. I ain't cheating.
That's a fact. I ain't cheating either.
I ain't cheating. I ain't cheating.
It ain't turned out when there's a willing participant.
I'll turn both of you motherfuckers out at the same time.
All I'm saying is when this whole pandemic is over,
I can turn you both out at the same time. At the same damn
when you coming up.
Y'all need to come down. I'm the one that's 2 hours from the ocean.
She's in North Carolina, so
I'm the one 2 hours from the ocean. I'm the one in the vacation spot.
Well, my thing is, I cannot drive
in North Carolina. That's where my sister lives.
But my thing is, she knows I cannot drive by myself due to health conditions, and I've gotten frustrated and wanted to drive down, and she's gotten in my shit like, bitch, you can't do that. So I can drive half of the way, and I can pay for all of the gas, and I can drive half of the way, but driving all of the way because of a health condition that I have, I cannot do the whole drive by myself, not anymore.
All I'm saying is the 75.
Oh, well, we're just going to have to schedule it because I definitely drove all the way to Virginia Beach with 2 kids that couldn't drive with me.
Well, I mean, I drove all the way to Texarkana, Texas, but I'll explain to you.
Don't do that shit no more.
Yeah.
I was about to kick her ass.
And that's when we learned about my health condition that makes me shake after so many hours. That's why I say I can do half of it.
All I'm saying is,
look, I can drive all of it.
But my thing is, in my defense, I was going to rescue someone from a domestic violence situation, and y'all know how I feel about that.
Oh.
Yeah, she was going to rescue
I'm with you.
a domestic violence situation, and
I mean, I did creep up, and the person didn't know my car, and I turned my lights off, so I creeped up, and I was able to creep out. But in hindsight, if the person would have just taken 2 steps out of their door, because their street was lit up like Christmas, they could have seen that I was a woman, and I would have been fucked up. Did I learn from that situation? Yes. But we all know that when a woman in need calls us, especially somebody that's close to us, that first time we don't always think it through. And I was like, fuck it. And I drove through 2 bad storms.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine who was a guy that was going to go with me, this is why Tracy is mad at me. When I got to him, and I got to him like 3 hours early, we're not going to discuss how I got to him 3 hours early. I was like,
that story.
I could not leave her by himself. Now, I sat in his office for a period of time. He did get off work early. He did decide that he was going to drive, but he wasn't driving fast enough.
Granny ass driving.
I may or may not have Z-quilled his ass.
We ain't gonna finish the story online because we ain't gonna say nothing incriminating. But let's wrap up tonight because
so you all's final thoughts, and please don't make your final thoughts about me, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
I made my final thoughts already, as I said.
Can we just make your final thoughts about mental health and not about Taz? Thank you. Stop saying my middle name online. Because a bitch already thinks that my middle name is my first name. Oh, first of all, Tracy is my longest standing friend. I know that you slip up and call me Ebony at times. Is that my first name?
No.
Thank you. Because someone thought that they could call a certain place and give my middle name and get information on me. That's why I was asking.
So I need to know who the haters are.
We'll talk after this.
Yeah.
Because it gets bad.
Okay. Okay. Final thoughts.
There is not a great work of art on this earth that is not flawed.
Hold on. While you all are giving your final thoughts, because I want you all to be highlighted, I'm going to remove myself from this feed so that these two wonderful ladies can give their final thoughts. And I just want to say once again, thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for being as candid as you are willing to be, because you didn't have to be that willing. And as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. But I am going to remove myself from the feed so that they can give their final thoughts and people can focus on their final thoughts. So, ladies, in whichever order you decide, go ahead.
There is not a great work of art on this earth that is not flawed. Think about that. Every piece of art has a flaw in it. Everyone is damaged.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, let me put on my final thought glasses.
Not your final thought glasses. Who that in the background?
My final thought glasses.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I have to come back.
Need everyone to remember.
Who was that in the background? I'm going to go back.
Hi.
So we final thoughts. Mental health should not be condemned. We all go through shit, be it big or be it small. Find joy in everything. In your pain, there is still joy. Hey, these glasses made me smart as shit. Look at that.
Okay, sexy librarian.
I'm just saying. Period. If y'all need me, call me.
And what the final thoughts of, you know what? I love my friends, and they are the perfect. They're the perfect jumble of too much and not too much and just right enough. But as always, tomorrow we will be talking about anti-bullying, and you may just have me here by myself talking about anti-bullying. I don't know. But as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. And if you're on Facebook and you're, wait a minute, hold on, you're not following either one of these, wait a minute, beautiful ladies, it's always weird because everything is opposite on
it's
here.
Backwards, it's off.
So I'm sorry.
This can's
y'all,
in my left hand.
This lady, do so. Also, please like, subscribe, and share this because I don't take anything down off of YouTube outside of 2 videos that I took down out of an agreement that I had with some other people, because I did lend my profile to a plethora of other people for a situation that I wasn't involved in. And actually, after I talked to the people, I privated those videos, and I will never unprivate those videos. It is what it is. But like I said, I always stand in my truth. I always bring people on that know that I stand in my truth and will stand in their truth. And I always, once again, thank you all for this 2-part series and being willing to be open and honest and vulnerable. Not so much y'all talking about me, because we don't do that.
Follow Doodle.
Sexy ass.
Oh yeah, and follow Doodle Vickers on Facebook. You will love the videos. If you love cute animal videos, oh my god, yes.
Doodle.
As soon as Tracy lets me do voiceovers for Doodle's videos, they'll be really great. I understand Doodle. But anywho, once again, thank you all. And each one teach one, each one reach one. Till tomorrow night. Love you guys.